In the presentation, the criminal justice system will be explained, along with the role of each segment of the system in dispensation of justice.
Dear friends, today we are discussing the management of a criminal case. You know that what does management stands for?
Yes, sir. Management means introduction, structure, sequence.
I would like to draw your attention towards the slide 2 of this presentation. Do you understand what does it means? That nature never shows abnormality?
Yes, can I respond?
Of course.
Nature is always normal. Sunrise in the east and set in the west. Everything is structured and in sequence. The concept of management can be drawn from the nature.
That is great. Similarly, following the same rule, without management of a criminal case we cannot win the confidence of the court.
Yes, if allowed.
One by one.
We have to firstly look into the prosecution version. The evidence in support of the same.
A set of witness to be produced to substantiate the charges. Expected line of defense by the accused.
That is wonderful. All these measures will make the prosecution stance most structure and in sequence. Before discussing the prosecutorial functions, I want to discuss the criminal justice system. Can anyone explain what the definition of the system is?
Yes, sir. It is a set of social and legal institutions for enforcing the criminal law.
This is wonderful. Now I would like to show you a diagram, wherein the role of each segment of the criminal justice system in the dispensation of justice will be discussed. I would like to draw your attention towards this slide. The blue color denotes the prosecution, the gray one is for investigation, and the green shows the judiciary. Can anyone explain the same?
Can I explain the role of the prosecution?
Yes, of course.
The blue denotes that the job of the prosecution commences with the registration of the FIR, and it supervises the processes of investigation throughout. And point 5 shows that upon the completion of investigation, the final report is submitted to the prosecution.
That's great. Who will explain points 6 to 8?
Can I?
Yes, sure.
Points 6 to 8 shows that after completion of investigation and submitting the final report, the prosecution scrutinizes the case and make prosecutorial decision regarding fitness or other.
Great.
From point 9 to 12, blue and green shows that prosecution is associated with the trial of the case by producing evidence in support of the prosecution. Prosecutor have to argue the case, lead the witness, produce the case property, and perform all actions required in the interest of justice.
Point 13 to 18. After the decision of the case, the prosecutor makes a decision whether to file an appeal or revision against the decision or otherwise.
Sir, it means that the job of the prosecution commences with the registration of the FIR till the final disposal of the case by the court.
Yes. And even after decision of a criminal case, a prosecutor have to decide to assail the decision or otherwise.
Sir, it means that the duties of the prosecutor are parental in nature.
Yes. Of course. I would like to refer to this slide, which will precisely defines the duties of the prosecution.
Sir, I believe for effective prosecution quality investigation is required.
Yes, the investigation has to see that all material evidence is collected, which includes digital evidences, circumstantial, ocular and forensic evidences. You have to prove the allegations.
Can you please highlight the tips and international best practices regarding the role of police and prosecution in the conduct of investigation?
You have to make a game play. Hold many micro-meetings with the investigation officer, along with giving guidelines and follow up those, with an intent to ensure quality investigation. You got a case file? What to do?
Sir, we have to devise a checklist for a case so that no document or evidence is left out.
We have to substantiate the prosecutorial stance through different layers of attack, i.e. forensic, ocular, digital, circumstantial and documentary evidences. That is wonderful. But you must focus upon that the preliminary investigation is vital for follow-up investigation.
Investigators should be proactive and not reactive.
Yes, this is true.
The Prosecution Act of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Province provides ample powers to the prosecutors to supervise the processes of investigation.
Yes, of course, prosecutors are having ample powers. Now if you all focus upon evidence and trial, kindly look at this. These are your decisions. I mean to say prosecutorial decisions.
How to properly manage the production of prosecution witnesses in support of prosecution stance.
Your job is to win the confidence of the court. If you look at slide, it is your decision to highlight the dying declaration. But it must be remembered that dying declaration is to be corroborated with other evidences as well.
I think that if these steps are followed, and proper coordination between the police and prosecution is there, no doubt we can not only manage the case properly, but it will also lead the prosecution to the successful end.
Yes. Of course. Finally, I thank you the entire participant for their presence and participation.